through an interesting series of circumstances, I find myself at the Almont Riverside Inn, a beautiful, now known as the Monty, and it is beautiful. It's a lovely little place. If you happen to be out in Ontario and want a weekend getaway, I couldn't recommend a better place. However, that's not what we're here to talk about. Last week I promised you another video, something that was going to be a little more interesting, and I've got one for you. That is this huge fundamental difference between how men and women perceive the world. Now, it was years ago when when I had this observation, and I have literally been for the past 8 years or so trying to refute it. Haven't managed yet. And it sounds simple, but let me get into it. Men see the world in an objective, driven way. Women see the world through a broader scenario, contextual way. What do I mean? Well, if I put this water bottle in the middle of the kitchen counter, you ask a guy, what do you see? Well, I see a water bottle. And you're correct. However, you ask a woman the exact same scene. You ask a woman what she sees, and what she sees is the entire counter over the course of a day. She sees that water bottle in the context of where it is. So the woman's going to see the water bottle and she's going to go, I see a water bottle, but it's in the middle of the busiest counter in the kitchen, and it's in the way because no matter what happens in this kitchen, this counter is ground zero. So why is it there? And then, of course, goes to thoughts of, is it clean? Is it dirty? Have to check. Does it, where does it have to go? Because it can't stay there unless there's a good reason for it, right? Why? Why would we be like this? Well, if we look back, when humans became less nomadic, even when we were nomadic, but when we started to settle down, men generally had four kind of roles, or the big things were hunter, gatherer, builder, protector. Straight up, hunter, gatherer, builder, protector, that's it. And all of these things required a certain wild, specific determination towards an objective or an object in particular. I make tool, builder, right? I make tool good, object. I catch elephant, so we have meat. Well, we catch elephant, so we have meat. So a group of guys would go out and do that. Okay. Women, on the other hand, kept everything else running. Now, we were communal, remember? So it wasn't just about, a couple living in their hut with their children. This was, it takes a village to raise a children, came from the fact that the women in the village were not all kind of segregated. They worked together. They had to keep an eye on who needs help. Who needs help with what? Where are the kids? What's going on? Who's the new guy? What needs to happen in order for the village to keep running well? What needs to go into storage? What needs to be kind of put away so that we don't starve later? All of these considerations, and the social aspects as well. Which means that when we get into the modern day, we get into the idea of, and that's going back a bit. I mean, like right up until about the 1950s, it was men go work, women stay home. Women had fewer career options at that time, generally teacher, nurse, secretary. But let's not get into that as much as the idea that even those professions require that broader contextual scenario-based orientation. Not that guys can't make great teachers, but they have to learn that. And just like women can be excellent CEOs and can, or any, women can do anything. If a woman wants to be a factory worker, yes, she can do the single-minded determination thing, but women tend to have more going on up there. So in the modern day, a woman typically has like at least a dozen things going on. If there are kids, how are the kids doing? Where are the kids? Are they eating well? What do I need to think about? What do I need to consider about the kids? Is their homework done? Are the kids going to get in trouble? If there's no kids, it's still a matter of, you know, is the house decent? How's the house? Is everything taken care of? Those little repairs, did they get done? Got to make sure that the heating is good. Got to make sure that, there's got to make sure, is supper going? Is this, that? And again, men can take this on, but men tend to do it in this more, we make a list and we follow the to-do list, and that's fine. But nonetheless, women tend to kind of have this all mulling around in their head at all times. There's a lot of smack talk out there about how women don't need guys at all, and there's so much bullshit out there where we're just women are trash talking men are trash talking women's, everybody's going on about how dating sites suck. Your dating photo, it's not all about appearance though. That's the whole thing. Despite all the smack talk and the trash talking and the stupidity, we're all looking for the same thing: intimacy, connection, and trust that we can open up and be vulnerable and have those wonderful, wonderful, close, tight-knit relationships that we want. I'm about practical dating advice. Women, your photos, if you're not in them, we're not interested. We want to see you and the things that you're passionate about. That's the catch. Don't want to see pictures of your dog, your cat, your yoga studio, your art or your photographs. We want to meet you and discover that with you because we love you or because we're interested in you. So make sure that every one of your photos is something that is clearly you and something that you're passionate about, or that it shows you. Not just some selfie in the car. No. Something that you love doing. Something that we can go, hey, I can relate to that. Right? And what you're looking for. If you're clear about what you're looking for, we're going to line up those dots real fast. We're going to go, yep, connect the dots. Thump, 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 thump. That's me. Let's go. That's the tip for women. For men, find somebody to take some really good photos of you. Again, showing things that you love and that you're passionate about, because women want somebody who has a story, a greater context. They don't just want a man, they want a complete person. And for those of us who have lost, the problem is we forget, because we built this whole kind of nomenclature, we built this whole kind of emotional nomenclature with our late spouse, partners. For them, we take it as read. We're not going to pick up with anybody new. It's going to be completely new. You need to build those connections so you can build that emotional shorthand again. But that takes time. So at least get it started off right by giving a good impression, by telling them how what you are like in a relationship and what's important to you. What do you value? How, what can they trust about you? If you're looking at this and going, oh my God, it's too much, or like, oh my God, how do I apply this to me? Hi, I'm Richard. I'm the Widower's Wingman, and you can reach me at thewidowerswingman.com. I have a ton of resources. I've got a ton of media on there. There's a whole ton of podcasts you can listen to. There's some great advice in there as well, practical stuff, articles like this. But more than anything, you can book a free call with me. It's not a sales call. It says 45 minutes. We're going to take the time we need to do it right. But I'm all about finding out where you are and helping you get the most out of finding a new relationship. And you know what? People say dating sites suck. I've had nothing but spectacular success with myself and everybody I've worked with. So let's talk. Beyond that, Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. Share it if you know somebody who can use it, please. It's only useful if it gets in the hands of the people who need to see it. And I will see you guys in the next video if I don't get the privilege of meeting you first.